At this exact moment, while you are sitting there watching, your kidneys might be desperately trying to get your attention. And there is a very high probability that you are brushing off every single clue they give you. It is not because you are reckless with your well-being, and it is certainly not because you do not care about staying healthy. It is simply because the red flags of declining renal health in folks over 60 do not look the way we are taught to expect. They lack drama. They fly under the radar. They do not send you rushing to the emergency room. Instead, they just feel like the standard march of time. Heavy legs, bloated ankles, waking up to use the restroom, a bit of mental fuzziness at breakfast, skin that just does not feel right. The vast majority of adults in their 60s deal with a few of these issues weekly and dismiss them as the natural cost of getting older. Medical professionals frequently do the exact same thing. But there is a crucial secret most folks only discover when the clock has run out. These everyday annoyances are not just father time. They are your kidneys crying out for help. They are the earliest whispers of renal decline. These whispers show up years before any standard lab test flashes a warning, long before a doctor hands you a formal diagnosis, way before the internal wear and tear gets dangerous. The real heartbreak here is that if you catch kidney disease during this whisper phase, the phase everyone blames on age, you can easily handle it. Precise dietary tweaks, specific hydration habits, cutting back on salt. Taking action during this preliminary window can actually pause and frequently even reverse the downward spiral. But if you wait until the late stages, after decades of brushing off the symptoms, your paths forward shrink drastically. Welcome back. I am Dr. Clara Bennett. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 subtle red flags that your kidneys are struggling. These are symptoms most adults over 60 are living with right now, without a second thought. For every single symptom, I will give you a clear action plan if you spot it in your own life. Make sure you stick around until the very end, because the 4th red flag is the one that catches everyone completely off guard. It is a daily annoyance almost every older adult deals with, yet practically no one links it to their renal health. Overlooking this specific clue has robbed thousands of seniors of their kidney function unnecessarily. If you spot even a single one of these red flags, the information in this video could truly alter your medical future. Let us get started. Red flag number 1, puffiness in your feet and ankles, especially as the day winds down. You have almost certainly experienced this. You kick back in your recliner after supper, peel off your socks, and the tight ring from the fabric is still deeply etched into your skin an hour later. Your ankles appear bloated, your feet feel sluggish and weighed down. You probably wrote it off as standing too long, hot weather, or just aging joints. Often that is a fair guess. Mild lower body swelling happens for a lot of reasons. However, there is a distinct type of ankle puffiness that points directly to kidney distress, and it behaves differently than standard tired feet swelling in a way most seniors never discover. Here is how the kidneys tie in. When they are healthy, your kidneys are master regulators of sodium and water throughout your entire system. Day in and day out, they pull leftover salt and fluid from your bloodstream, keeping the exact equilibrium needed for stable blood pressure and healthy tissues. But the moment kidney performance starts slipping, even slightly, even before routine blood work catches a glitch, this delicate balancing act falters. Extra sodium starts pooling in your blood, and naturally, water chases sodium. Your system clings to the fluid it is supposed to be flushing out. Thanks to gravity, all that excess water sinks down to the lowest spots on your body, settling heavily in your feet and ankles. Doctors call this peripheral edema, which is basically fluid trapped in your lower extremities. But the renal variety has 3 unique traits that set it apart from basic fatigue swelling. Number 1, it is prominent when you wake up after sleeping horizontally, not just at dusk after walking around. Basic swelling goes down overnight because gravity helps shift the fluid while you sleep. Renal edema stubbornly sticks around. The puffiness comes back quickly because the root issue, The sodium imbalance was not resolved by your kidneys while you rested. Number 2, it creates a lasting dimple when you push your thumb firmly into the swollen flesh for 5 seconds and let go. Medical folks call this pitting edema, meaning the liquid has seeped deep into the tissue gaps rather than just pooling around tired muscles. Try pressing your thumb against your ankle right now. If that dent lingers for more than a couple of seconds, you need to bring it up with your physician. Number 3, it shows up in tandem with other red flags on our list today, especially shifts in your bathroom habits and energy levels. Finding a group of symptoms together is far more alarming than finding just one isolated issue. So what is the action plan? If this sounds familiar, your first move is to slash your salt intake immediately. Too much sodium is the main culprit behind renal fluid buildup. Cut out the canned soups, the deli meats, and the heavy diner food for 14 days and see if the puffiness fades. If it shrinks, you know sodium was a massive trigger, and changing your plate can meaningfully help your kidneys manage fluids. Next, drink more water, not less. A lot of older folks cut back on drinking because they think it will dry out the swelling. That is completely backward. Proper hydration gives your kidneys the power to wash out that sodium more effectively, which actually drops the fluid retention, causing your swollen ankles. Finally, bring this exact symptom up at your next doctor's visit and firmly request a comprehensive renal blood panel, specifically asking to see your creatinine and your GFR levels. Do not sit back and wait for the doctor to offer it. Demand it directly. Red flag number 2. Alterations in your bathroom habits, particularly that persistent need to go during the night. For most people over 60, this has become so commonplace that it is just seen as a normal part of life. Waking up 2, 3, or even 4 times a night is often blamed on prostate issues for men or bladder changes for women. But nocturia, the clinical term for frequent nighttime urination, is actually one of the most reliable and earliest indicators of failing kidneys. The science behind why this happens is truly eye-opening. Here's the kidney connection. Functional, healthy kidneys work to concentrate your urine while you sleep. They produce a smaller amount of highly concentrated fluid, so your body can actually rest without constant trips to the bathroom. This concentration process requires specialized cellular structures that are often the very first things to get damaged when kidney performance slips. When these structures fail, even slightly, your kidneys lose their ability to hold back the flow. Instead of concentrated urine, they keep pumping out dilute fluid at daytime speeds, all through the night. The result is that you are constantly woken up because your kidneys can no longer throttle the production as they should. Beyond just frequency, keep a sharp eye out for these other red flags in the bathroom. Urine that looks foamy or bubbly, especially if those bubbles linger for minutes, can mean your kidneys are leaking protein, a major sign that the internal filters are starting to fail. If your urine looks darker than usual despite drinking plenty of water, it could mean your kidneys are struggling to process waste. In more serious cases, if you notice you are actually producing less urine despite drinking your usual amount, your filtration might be significantly compromised. A study featured in the Clinical Journal of the American Society of Nephrology highlighted that nocturia, waking up 2 or more times a night, was a standalone predictor for a much higher risk of chronic kidney disease in adults over 55. This link stayed strong even after accounting for things like high blood pressure, diabetes, or prostate problems, proving that nighttime urination is a direct warning from the kidneys themselves, not just a side effect of other issues. What should you do? If this sounds like your nightly routine, track your habits for 1 full week. Document how many times you wake up and any changes in color or foaminess. This data is gold for your doctor. You can even pick up a simple urine dipstick test at most drugstores to check for protein at home. Try to limit your fluids after 7 p.m., but make sure you are staying well hydrated during the daylight hours. As we have discussed in our other videos, a cup of chamomile tea around 8 p.m. can support kidney function overnight without causing a massive spike in urine volume. Before we get to red flag number 4, the one I mentioned earlier that truly shocks people, please take a second to subscribe to my channel if you have not yet. This is exactly the kind of vital health information that most doctors do not emphasize until the situation is already critical. It costs nothing to subscribe, and it could save your health. Also, leave a comment below. How many of these symptoms are you noticing? I make it a point to read every single one. Moving on to red flag number 3. Chronic exhaustion and a foggy brain, especially right after you wake up, that simply does not go away with rest. You get your full 8 hours, but you still wake up feeling drained. Your thoughts feel slow, and focusing feels like a chore. You probably blame it on poor sleep quality, stress, or just your age. But this specific type of unshakable fatigue is one of the most frequently ignored signs of kidney decline in seniors. Here is why your kidneys control your energy. Healthy kidneys produce a vital hormone called erythropoietin, or EPO. This hormone tells your bone marrow to create red blood cells, which are responsible for carrying oxygen to every part of your body, including your muscles and your brain. When your kidney health dips, your EPO production follows suit. This leads to fewer red blood cells and a state of mild anemia. It might not be severe enough to set off alarms on a standard blood test yet, but it is more than enough to starve your tissues of oxygen, leaving you with that heavy, foggy feeling that most people just accept as getting old. This kidney-related fatigue has its own signature. It is usually at its worst in the morning because that oxygen shortage builds up while you sleep. It might actually feel a bit better after you move around and get your circulation going. It also hits your mental sharpness first because your brain is incredibly sensitive to oxygen levels. Research in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors with even minor kidney decline showed significantly slower cognitive processing and higher fatigue levels than those with healthy kidneys. This was true long before any official diagnosis was ever made. Additionally, when kidneys fail to filter waste, uremic toxins build up in your blood. These metabolic waste products can actually cross into the brain and directly interfere with your thinking, causing that characteristic brain fog. If you are feeling this, ask your doctor to check your hemoglobin and hematocrit levels when they run your kidney panel. If those are low alongside your kidney numbers, it is a clear sign your fatigue is renal-related. You should also start a morning hydration routine immediately. Warm lemon water or green tea are excellent for helping your kidneys flush out those uremic toxins. Clearing that waste can lead to a massive boost in your energy and clarity in just a few short weeks. Red flag number 4. Persistent, itchy skin, specifically on your arms, legs, and back, that has no visible dermatological cause. This is the warning I mentioned earlier that catches people off guard. When you start itching, you probably think about dry weather, a new laundry detergent, or just senior skin. You might buy a better moisturizer or go to a dermatologist. Almost nobody thinks of their kidneys. However, chronic, widespread itching that doesn't go away with typical treatments is one of the most reliable signs of kidney stress in people over 60. Here's the fascinating, if slightly scary, connection. As kidney performance drops, they become less effective at filtering phosphorus. This mineral is in almost everything, especially processed foods. When it builds up in your blood, a condition called hyperphosphatemia, it starts binding with calcium. These tiny mineral deposits settle into the capillaries and nerve endings right under your skin. They cause a deep, frustrating itch that lotions can't reach because the source is inside your body. It's called uremic pruritus, and it impacts about 40% of people with kidney issues. A study in the Journal of the American Academy of Dermatology found that unexplained itching in adults over 55 was a standalone sign of significantly lower kidney function. This itch is unique. It's often worse at night, hits multiple parts of the body at once, and doesn't care about your antihistamines. If you're dealing with this, ask your doctor for a phosphorus check. Most importantly, slash your intake of phosphate additives immediately. These are found in processed breads and canned goods and are absorbed almost instantly into your blood. Cutting these out can bring relief in just a few weeks. Red flag number 5, a lingering metallic or ammonia-like taste in your mouth, combined with a sudden lack of appetite. Maybe foods you used to love now taste wrong. Meat might taste like tin, or your morning coffee just doesn't hit the same. You might even feel a bit nauseous when you wake up. It's easy to blame this on new medications or dental problems, but this specific pattern is a direct signal that waste is building up in your bloodstream. The reason is simple. When your kidneys can't keep up, your body tries to dump waste through other exits, like your saliva. Urea, a primary waste product, breaks down into ammonia in your mouth, creating that metallic taste. Simultaneously, those uremic toxins are hitting the appetite centers in your brain. Your body is essentially trying to protect itself by making food unappealing, hoping you'll stop consuming the proteins and minerals that are stressing your kidneys. The Journal of Renal Nutrition published a study showing that these taste changes are among the most overlooked early signs of kidney decline. If you have a metallic taste and feel less hungry, do not wait. Get a comprehensive metabolic panel that includes BUN, creatinine, and GFR. In the meantime, start the kidney-friendly habits we talk about here. More water, less salt, and the specific morning drinks from our series to help clear those toxins. So there you have it. Those are the 5 early indicators: swollen ankles from fluid imbalance, frequent nighttime bathroom trips as your kidneys lose their concentrating power, unshakeable morning fatigue, and brain fog caused by oxygen drops and toxin buildup, persistent itching from phosphorus issues, and that metallic taste that signals rising urea. The most vital takeaway today is this: if you recognize even one of these, do not ignore it. Don't wait for your annual physical. Call your doctor this week and be your own advocate. Ask specifically for a kidney function panel. The difference between catching this now versus later is everything. Right now, at the warning stage, simple dietary shifts and lifestyle changes can halt or even partially reverse the decline. If you wait until a formal diagnosis, your options are much more limited and much more aggressive. You found this video for a reason. Your kidneys have worked for you for decades. Now it's your turn to look out for them. If this helped you, please share it with a friend or family member who needs to hear it. Check the links in the description for my other videos on the best drinks and foods to support your renal health. And make sure you're subscribed, because next week we're showing real data from seniors who used our 30-day morning drink routine to actually improve their creatinine levels. You really don't want to miss that. Take care of your kidneys and listen to what they're saying. I'll see you in the next video.